Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and to the Ummah, and shalom to any Hebrew Israelite or Jewish brothers. We're all people of the book at the end of the day, as well as, Christian family and stuff like that. Although we differ on doctrine, we all believe in, for the most part, monotheism and the God of Abraham, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Most High. So anyway, after the, greetings. Welcome to the new year, of course. So this is my second one of the year. So this one is going to be pretty straightforward and quick. And I'll probably, I say this with every video, but there's going to be a follow-up video also. And once I get perspectives from different other people, and I can, get people to do panels and things like that, we can have a reasonable discussion about this. So, and actually, as you can know, my fire alarm battery is finally here. So no more of that torture, right? Kudos to everybody that dealt with that. And I'll keep that promise of making you guys all mods. I'm still figuring out the streaming tool that I'm using in YouTube. So everybody that has ever commented or viewed this, my streams, you will become a mod. You will become a mod. Don't abuse your power. And I'll call you out, if you ever do, straightforward. I believe in giving, multiple chances to people. We're still learning from each other. And of course, people are going to butt heads. So the reason I'm doing this stream today is because I was listening to a really great podcast called Freshly Grounded. It's meant for younger brothers, and sometimes they have sisters on there, but it's mostly meant for, young guys in the Ummah. And they have everything from scholars on there to celebrities, athletes, and things like that. And basically talking about issues that are kind of affecting especially young people that are in the deen, whether if they're, struggling to practice or not. In fact, they even have Muslim artists, and I know there's the big debate on music and if it's haram or not. And actually, I'm going to go into a little bit about the fatwa, that issue too. But so the first way I'm going to explain this is sorry, one moment. One moment. Sorry, I just had a friend that hit me up. I know I'm live, I don't want to waste you guys' time, but you get preoccupied and distracted. So anyway, let me go straight to it. So as a revert, I'm kind of confused about fatwas and what's permissible, what's not permissible, what's haram, marku, and halal, right? And depending on where I ask somebody what culture they're from, what age they are, what school they thought they believe, or what muftis or scholars they follow, I hear various different things. And it's the same thing in any religion or political philosophy. There's communists, there's socialists, there's anarcho-communists, there's syndicalists, there's anarcho-syndicalism, there's Democrats, Republicans, libertarians. There's all different kinds of schools of thoughts and different opinions on everything, right? But of course, this is going to exist because we're human beings, right? We all interpret things differently. We even interpret. There was that thing where it was different colors, and some people were saying that's blue, and some people were saying that's purple, and some people were saying that's green. But it's literally the same thing, but different. It shows how the human mind and how different we are from each other. So anyway, let me go straight into it. So this deals with trying to understand fatwas and why certain fatwas in different times were actually put out there. Because I'm looking at them from a historical point of view and a scholarly point of view. I can not a quote scholar, I'm not a part of any university, but I try to educate myself the best I can. There's only so much time during the day, but I do try to every single day try to educate myself. So if I stumble across something that I think is interesting, I'm going to bring it up. So one thing that came to my mind was with this during that podcast stuff, Freshly Grounded, this guy reverted a couple months ago, alhamdulillah. You know what I'm saying? And, I wish the guy the best. He was talking about everything from, no fap to dopamine detoxification, which opened my mind so much. Issues with sugar. And I actually agree with a lot of the things he actually just said, sugar, and its effects on you, dietary habits, mental exercise, all kinds of stuff, meditation. And so one thing he talked about, he mentioned something about chess. And he was just like, yeah, I know chess is haram. And of course, this guy just reverted a little bit. So I've been a revert for quite longer than him. And I never heard anything like that. And that's kind of weird because, honestly, I grew up on chess and that was one of my favorite pastimes. I have a lot of fond memories of me and my brothers gathering around and playing chess together. And I think that especially as men, right, it is actually a great tool of learning patience, discipline, strategy. And a lot of the things that you endure in chess, you can apply to so many different things in life. It's in my opinion, the first strategy game. And I'm a huge fan of strategy games. And I was like, why is it haram? So, and when did it become haram? So at least from what I just researched, right? And this just came up to me right now. This is an article by the Washington Post that was posted in 2016. And there's one by the Guardian that plays it. And there's, you can just literally just see so many articles about chess. And I thought that this would be an insignificant issue. I think it's just straight up, my perspective is this halal. This is not because I have desires. I haven't actually played chess in over a year. The last time I played chess was with my dad. I don't play chess recreationally against anybody. I'm not part of competitive chess stuff. I was in the chess team when I was a kid. I found memories of that as well. So there's an article, when the first articles I see is by the Washington Post. It's called The Age-Old War Between Muslim Clerics and Chess Players. And so the background, the basic general summarization of the article that they've put into it is basically in 1979, there was a revolution in Iran, of course. And then in Saudi Arabia, there was this thing that happened where actually guys took over. It was just like basically they were considered Wahhabis, or what is known as Wahhabism. I'm not going to get into Wahhabism, what it means and stuff like that. And people say that's not a term. But anyway, it is what is 100% accurate and true is they stormed the holiest site in all of Islam and held it hostage. And special forces ended up having to get in there, clean them out. And after that, a lot of clerics in Saudi Arabia got really, really, really more strict, like extremely strict. And overnight, a lot of things in Saudi Arabia, which were considered the norm, especially what is considered quote unquote Western influences. And I'm going to use the quotes because, some things can be disputed as Western and other things not. I'm not going to get into that. But they got overturned or whatever like that. So it was following that. And so basically they declared it haram or forbidden because of its concerns, connections to gambling, and people creating enmity between players, which is kind of ridiculous in my opinion. Honestly, completely ridiculous, because considering this, why is that haram? And I can understand if they maybe say marku, which is it's permissible, but not, it shouldn't be encouraged. Kind of like, and I'm not trying to be vulgar, prostitution. I'm not prostituting. No, not prostitution. Sorry. Let me correct myself. Masturbation. Sorry, I was like, it's some kind of tuition, right? You think about languages and stuff like that. So that, if you're not keeping track of what you're saying, you can say something else that sounds like it. But no, not prostitution. Masturbation. Recently, one of the most proclaimed, highly regarded scholars, Dr. I think it was Zain Naik, from India. He actually changed his own position, and he's one of the best scholars that I know of that's currently out there. Yeah, you probably walked in the wrong time, a weird time. So hey, Nicer, thanks for showing up. So again, this is something dealing with the conflict between religion, philosophy, and spirituality. I don't know if you want to sit through this, but I do appreciate you showing up. So some of the things I say might go over your head, but bear with me if you like to do. And actually, if you notice, the smoke alarm issue is fixed. So yeah, I took care of that finally. So anyway, Basically, they said that God, I lost my train of thought. So basically, Dr. Zainique said that masturbation is marku, and I think it should have always been marku. The thing is, it's nothing wrong with the act in of itself. It is a sexual release. It is natural, and however, the problem is people combine masturbation with pornography and things like that, or they excessively masturbate. That's when it becomes an issue. And I think a lot of people sometimes, especially young boys, honestly, let's keep it real. You know what I'm saying? They spend too much time cranking it, you know what I'm saying, compared to actually, you know, being productive and things like that. And then on top of that, they combine that with pornography, or they watch movies that aren't quote unquote pornographic, but they have like sex scenes or something like that. Or they look at pictures that let you know, or something like that with like girls in bikinis and stuff. And then so they're constantly, you know, stimulating themselves. There's like issues with dopamine. There's issues with, you know, of course, over a period of time, maybe you view women as being sex objects just because you're constantly stimulating yourself that way. But anyway, that's a separate issue. So they said that chess is haram because of gambling. And what I think is ridiculous is the act of gambling can be applied to anything. You can have a spelling bee and gamble on that. You can have a scholarly debate and gamble on that. You can have a sports game and debate on that. And what's funny is you say chess, which is an intellectual sport, right? It's an intellectual sport. It's a strategy game. You say that's haram, but the same countries that say that's haram have cricket teams, sports teams, all this kinds of stuff, or they even host the World Cup or something like that. Like, come on, bro. Like, where is the consistency? Where is the consistency with these so-called scholars? And these so-called scholars also are inconsistent in supporting regimes that do plenty of things that are considered haram. So where's the consistency? And that's why I think it's important to always question where things are coming from, because as much as people talk about innovation and this and that, and they're refuting this scholar or that scholar for saying something that's controversial, you know, some of the just because a guy has a long beard and wears a thrope, or it's either trope or thrope, sorry. One of those two. I forgot what but it's like the attire that covers, you know, most of the male body. They, you know, just because somebody looks a certain way, they kind of just go along with whatever they say, you know? Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. So just because of that, they won't or what country they are, what ethnic group they come from, they won't question their ruling. And it's kind of bogus. So, you know, I think it's everybody that is attempting to practice and understand the deen owes it to themselves and owes it to the greater community to question why certain rules happen. If it's not in hadith, you know, and this is accurate hadith, authentic hadith, and the Quran, you should question where this is coming from. Because from my understanding, I've never seen, you know, any of the prophets, you know, ever say anything about chess, because chess is a very, very old game. I never seen them say anything about checkers or anything like that. So where is this coming from? If you don't gamble in this game, and your intent is not to gamble, but it is to, you know, use your intellectual capabilities, and it does stimulate your intellectual capabilities that you can use and transfer to other things in life, what's wrong with that? And these same people, I really think that it's kind of like you're just being strict and controversial for no reason. It seems like you're just abusing your power, because it just doesn't make any sense if it's not in a part of the sunnah. So you're making these rulings, and let's face it, and honestly, especially growing up of being a black child, chess taught me a lot about, you know, using your mind, your intellect, fighting impulses, thinking things out. So all the kids growing up these days, especially if you live in the West, what are you going to get your kids to do to be a productive habit, to also something they can use to express themselves and it be halal, And it keeps them away from things that are truly haram, like the big things, like zina, or drinking alcohol and doing drugs. What avenues are you giving them? Because there's actually been studies of, and this pertains to music. There's been studies that kids that get into music programs in schools, they stay out of trouble and they make better grades. Same thing with chess club. So you're saying this is haram, this is haram, this is haram. What avenues or what outlets do kids have to keep themselves busy? Because they're not going to, honestly, as much as I would like to say that their main priority is to be knowledgeable about the deen and recitation, which I'm not even good reciter. I know enough recitation to do offer salah and make dua every now and then. Dua in actual Arabic. But I do not know. I'm not a reciter whatsoever. So growing up, these kids, and you're putting so much effort into closing doors for them. Like pretty soon you're going to be saying being a doctor is haram. Because if you're going to be a doctor, or especially, you got to learn about the human body. You got to know where this is. You got to know where that is. And you're going to be also, a lot of the times, especially, free mixing is going to happen. Gender segregation is not going to happen in the medical field. Doctors are going to have to work with nurses. And nurses come of both genders. Like I say, that's haram. Literally, people that save people's lives and do medical research and all this kinds of stuff. Like think about, so that's why we're the question about some of these scholars. And I do trust that most of them probably have the best intentions. But I think it's important for us to question where all this is coming from. So from the research that I do into chess and from my experience in chess is not haram. Especially, you want to talk about other sports compared to like free mixing, bro. Most women do not like chess anywhere, shape, and form. They do not like playing chess. So if you want a sausage fest and you want a bunch of men together, you want to put your kid in something productive, put them in the chess club. Put them in the chess club. Seriously. People don't go to chess tournaments and be like, yo, I'm going to get drunk at the chess tournament. Like compared to like the football game or soccer games. They're not like, oh, let's go to the chess game and get lit and hit on females. Let's be honest. So I'm gonna keep this short and sweet, but we should really start questioning where some of these fatwas, are coming from, and if there's agendas that are outside of the sunnah, is this the reasoning behind it? Because it's just like, oh well, it's chess. It's something that I don't understand, and therefore it's haram. Or maybe the way you've been attached to chess is wrong. Maybe you gambled when you played chess. And yes, there is a big thing. There is a big thing, especially in a lot of cities, where people gamble on chess. But I've never participated in that. And I played chess for most of my life. I've never ever went to play a chess game to gamble whatsoever. You can attach gambling to any competitive activity. This goes to martial arts. This goes to any kind of sport. This goes to playing cards, checkers, chess, any game. Freaking Uno, Monopoly. Anything that's competitive, you can attach to that, to gambling. So, yeah, that's all I have. You know what I'm saying? And I hope you guys have maybe I'll do one more later on today. I'll make sure that it's not a religious topic, because I think religious topics are a turn off for most people for the most part. So, I'm still going to keep true to, my intentions and my beliefs. But, at the same time, I want to have a broad audience. I don't want you to just be here, Mr. Scholar, or attempting to be a scholar, for this and that and this dawa and, the deen this and the deen that. In all respect, that isn't very important to me. But at the same time, I want to engage in with just a broad audience. And, I do have other focuses and concerns also, as well. I want to be a multifaceted person. So thank you very much for, if you do view this, like, share, and subscribe as much. I just started my channel last month. I'd like to have more conversations and create panels. So if you know anybody that actually disagrees with me or agrees with me and they want to elaborate on this, by all means, shoot them my way, and we can get something chopping. We can have, have a debate or a discussion. And that's all I have for now. Bismillah, you guys take care. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Deuces.